Welcome everyone to another episode of the Very Online Show, a Giant Bomb production that features two extremely online people that are so online, so mega ultra online that we are preparing to leave our mortal vessels and be uploaded into the cloud, at which point we will be precipitated back down onto the world as data. Why do we do this, you ask? Well, it's to explain to our good friend Jeffrey Bacala. Is his full name Jeffrey? I do not know, but
it is,
and
I don't love it.
No?
I don't like my name.
Really?
You don't? No?
I think your name's got a good cadence to it. Like
I'm going to be
Jeff
100% honest with you, Jeff. Your first name is completely unremarkable in every single way.
Yeah, I thank you. I know,
Wow.
but thank you first to Lucy. I don't want to gloss over the compliment of the cadence
You're
of my
welcome.
name. You
The
mean
Bacala really makes up for it. Like the Bacala
yeah, it's
is
like a-
incredible.
It's like a
It's
1-2.
real
Yeah.
weak first act.
yeah.
but
It's
the
like
finish.
yeah.
Woof.
Well, yeah, I don't know. You could be like me, 3 first names. So
Yeah.
I guess okay, it could always be that.
The Bacala is like just a phenomenal season finale on an otherwise mediocre season of TV.
Oh, thank you. That
You know
is
what I'm
the
saying?
name I have. Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
We have Jeffel Snackalaw, and we are telling him what is going on with the GD internet.
the gosh darn internet.
Yeah, gosh darn internet, yes. Depending on your perspective, this is either Jeff voluntarily rotting his brain for your entertainment and amusement so he can be a little more in the know, and he can be like constantly telling his kid what is really going down with the internet, so his kid's like, my dad's cool.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
it's just myself and Lucy doing our best to take all the mumbo jumbo nonsense bullshit that's in our brain, just rattling around and using it to educate Jeff, and by extension you. This week we've got a special episode because it is a Lucy episode.
And to that end, I started off and I wanted this to be like a really cheery episode about a very unusual online event, but then I forgot about the context surrounding it.
Yeah.
So
And also I don't know if you know, I don't know how much you read of the stuff I added a little bit at the end, Lucy, but I really added where I took us to Depresso Town. We're
okay,
going.
good. Okay, good.
We're
Okay,
going.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
because I was like, this looks good, but I feel like Jeff
Too
may
cheery.
leave. Yeah, I feel like Jeff may leave this with a neutral emotional state, and that is not what I'm about. I need him to be really having an existential crisis when he leaves.
Wonderful, Tam. How nice of you to do that, Tam.
With that in mind, Jeff, do you know who this man is?
The one, the only.
Yes. I've seen him very recently because something's going on with him.
In your house?
Nope. We don't hang out anymore, not since high school.
Do you know his name?
It's like yes. It's like Miska. Misha Collins.
Yay, there we go.
You did it. You did
He
it.
did it. Well, this is actor Misha Collins, best known for his role.
Mishka. That's Mishka.
No, you're right, because I think his full name is it does sound like Eastern European. I can't remember what his actual name is.
I'll
but
take it.
Misha is a nickname.
Great. I only like if you asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would not have known.
This is why we're covering it, because he's been all up in the news.
Something. Okay. Do you want me to tell you everything I know?
Tell me everything you know about it, because I'm interested. I don't think you have the full picture.
Firstly, his actual name is Dmitry Tepin-Skrushnik.
Oh, so it's Dimitri.
Yeah.
So he's a liar.
But he shortened that to Misha.
Misha. All right. I mean, I didn't know you can. I guess Dimitri. Sure. Hey, you call yourself whatever you want, right?
He was born in Boston as well, so I love the fact that he was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and his parents were like, "This looks like a Dmitry Tepin-Skrushnik,"
Yeah.
instead of just
Totally.
like Jeff.
That's cyclical humor, really.
That's a callback.
Bringing it back around here.
Jeff,
So-
tell us what you know about this man.
He said something at like a panel on a panel or something where like, okay, again, I would never I just want to preface what I'm about to say with this is what happens when you very casually scrape the top of the surface through Twitter and extract news. Again, meaningless to me where I'm like, I don't need to know what this story. Okay. I think he said something to the effect of like he was coming out as bisexual, I want to say. And I don't know if it was a joke, but he said something where he's like, I'm everything.
Yeah.
And people were like, that's a little too much for, I don't know what the real response was, but.
No. Well, you're a little right, but there is way more context. There's also like 10 years of highly online behavior to dig through, which is what we're going to do now. So Tam.
From him?
Regarding him.
Got it. Okay.
So Tam, can you explain briefly, because we don't have a lot of time. I know you can go in depth on this. Misha Collins is best known for his role as Destiel on the CW show Supernatural. Who is Destiel, Tam?
Well, Lucy, Destiel was a character introduced in season 4 of Supernatural and carried on being on the show until its very end, season 15. He's an angel, okay, and he's responsible for saving Dean Winchester, one of the 2 Winchester brothers, from being plunged into hell. He was commanded to do this by the archangels, and this was in order to stop Lilith from breaking the 66 seals that would eventually unleash Lucifer from his cell and unleash him onto the world once again. He did this so that he needed to stop Sam Winchester, Dean's brother, from breaking the final seal because there's some weird shit going on. And that is who he is. Yeah. And then he stayed on for a really long time.
Jeff, you raised your hand there.
What the hell is Supernatural?
What?
And also, that's a fucking dumbass name for a show.
You shut your mouth, okay? Firstly, Jeff.
Your show is called... Why'd you name your cartoon Cartoon?
I just wanted to get into the fucking online bit of this. Supernatural is a show. Sam and Dean Winchester, they're basically ghost hunter boys. They're brothers, okay? We'll get into why that's a thing in a bit. But Tam gave a very good rundown. Basically, Destiel comes in, season 4. And unintentionally... this flap of the butterfly's wings made Misha Collins one of the most famous people for very online people, but not in the way that you would expect. And so today, this is not going to be an all-encompassing episode about fandom. This is going to be about the phenomenon of fandom, particularly how it pertains to Supernatural and Misha Collins, and therefore resulting in the thing that you saw trending the other week. Jeff.
Okay, wow. Thank you. It's very personalized this week. I appreciate it.
I saw you the other day looking at your phone like this, and I was like, that's got to be.
I saw you looking at your phone the other day like this.
For people who are separated by 2,500 miles, or 3,200 kilometers, we sure do see each other a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like when I say see, it was like feel, because I could feel like, and then when I felt the kind of like energy of it, it created the picture in my mind. You know how like Neo sees in the Matrix, where it's like the silhouettes, and I could tell the energy was coming from you using your index finger to press the keyboard on your phone.
You see wind, you see air better than light anyway.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good reference.
That's a good reference to the show that we're on. So fandom, fan culture, stans is a community of fans. That's a very cyclical explanation, but there you have it. It's a Friday. Could be for a TV show, movie, book series, pinball machine, band, anime, whatever. If you're a fan of something, you are in the fandom. Time to expose ourselves. I was in the Beck fandom. A while ago, like I was big on those forums.
Sure.
We swapped a lot of songs legally, not legally. One of my friends was heavily into Supernatural and McFly fandoms. I actually texted her earlier and I said, I'm doing an episode of the Very Online Show about Misha Collins, and she just replied, oh God. So Tam, Jeff, have you ever partaken in any fandom behaviors, particularly online?
I was in the Naruto fandom. I was in the
Yeah.
Bleach fandom. I was in the Prince of Tennis fandom. I was in the One Piece fandom. I was in the Lost fandom. 24
Lost
fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24. The Shield.
Ooh, I love The Shield.
Yeah, it's a great show. I
in
was
the Muppets.
unfortunately forced to be in the DC fandom for 2 years in a row. I'll probably end up being there this time. I am a part of the Batman fandom, but also I don't want to be forced into the DC fandom, which is a different thing.
Sounds like
but
it.
yeah, I've been part of a lot of fandoms in my time.
Jeff?
I mean,
have you been an online fan?
Yeah, but just not like IP fandom. Like I'll never, I love tons of IP. I love a lot of different shit.
There's a man who loves things. I love intellectual property and abiding by copyright rules and laws.
No, but like I'm not like I don't. The things I love the most, right? Like show wise, I don't like take that extra step.
You're a hobbyist fandom.
I'm a hobbyist, right? So like it's the pinball, keyboards,
heroin,
some art stuff here and there. Not on the H train, not anymore.
Not after last time.
Yeah, no, seriously, slippery slope. Let me tell you. But yeah, like mostly hobbyist standum for sure.
That's the H train you're on now. Is the hobbyist.
Yeah, hobbyist.
Yeah, totally.
So fan culture can be a great thing. It's part of what the internet.
Ilternet, let's go. That is what we're calling it. That is what we're calling it from now on.
You're so online, you called it the Ilternet.
The Ilternet.
Anyway, fan culture can be a great thing. It is part of what the internet was built on. People coming together to talk about things that they love. Just as we bond and become friends with people through Twitter over our shared interest of video games. So do many people become friends through bonding online over the things that they like. Fandoms often have cool nicknames that are usually very fun pieces of wordplay. So I wanted to give you a little pop quiz. What do you call
I love a quiz.
What do you call a group of Beyonce fans?
Yes, Tam.
Is it the Beehive or the Bayhive?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Cool.
Fans of Doctor Who?
Is it like is it like something with TARDIS? Are they like TARDIes?
Don't say it.
Careful.
Don't say it. You're very close to being cancelled right now.
What? Is it was that I don't know a lot about Doctor Who.
Is it?
But I know TARDIS,
Whovians?
right? What's TARDIS?
Or something like
Is that
that?
Whovians.
Is it Whovians?
Whovians.
Okay.
My Little Pony. You should know this one.
Come on.
Come on, Jeff.
This is. I've got
what
a
the
fun.
fuck? Why do poners?
What the fuck?
I don't know, dude. What
Bronies?
bronies? Why is it
Fun story about bronies. I have two younger brothers. One of my brothers went to the other one's WhatsApp and changed his picture to a brony like My Little Pony and was like, ha ha ha, now you're stuck with that. And he was like, I'm fine with it. Just like, and he was like, I won't change it. He had that brony picture for 10 years.
Oh
10
my God.
years.
I don't like, swim in those ponds. Like my dudes, I just poners is that's pretty good off the dome. It's not that much worse than bronies. Come on.
There's Ghostbusters.
Oh shit, I feel like I should know that, but I don't because I love Ghostbusters a great deal, but I'm just not like a Ghostbusters freak.
Apparently they're called ghost heads.
That's super unoriginal.
We've got Nicki Minaj.
Bob's.
What?
Bob's.
Barbie.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
We've got Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumbies.
They're called Benedict Cumberbatches.
Cumberbitches. No, they're called Cumberbitches.
All right, that's pretty good. So it's like Lady Gaga's got like little monsters or some shit, right?
Yeah.
And then my favorite, Barry Manilow.
How does Barry Manilow stands like engaged, like I don't know, current enough to sort of like?
Hey, they have a fandom.
I used to be really good friends with like his like personal makeup person in a weird way. Anyway,
all I'm saying is I would like Jeff Bacala fans to be called Bacalads.
Bacalads and Bacalasses.
I got a tough time arguing with that, man.
What are we calling Barry Manilow fans?
Manaloiacs.
No.
It's time for Manaloiacs.
Come on, that's good.
No, they're just called. You went a bit too complicated with it. Simplify it down. It's just Fanalos.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
So it goes beyond just, gathering on online spaces to talk about things. People within fandoms often create art, songs, cosplay, and fan fiction.
Okay.
We're gonna
easy
yeah,
there.
I know. We're gonna. Jeff got a crash course in what fan fiction was a few weeks ago when we were on a call, and it was enlightening for him. So this time I'm gonna guide you through it a little more gently than we did last time. Fan fiction does what it says on the tin. It's fiction written by fans, which is usually housed on websites like Wattpad or AO3, which is Archive of Our Own. Fan fiction is pretty amazing. I have been known to dabble in reading it because you get to explore new stories or different
What fanfic do you read? Have you read where you're like, okay.
I used to read a lot of like the Belgariad fan fiction because I love those books. It's a book series.
Okay.
I've dabbled in Enslaved Odyssey to the West. You can
really
definitely
like Monkey?
Yeah,
with Monkey doing some weird
monkey
monkey
stuff. I was really
stuff?
into that game.
That game's fucking rules. I love that game.
So
Yeah, it's great.
And then I've read some Game of Thrones stuff, but I think, we all have. Anyway.
Shaggin'.
Oh no, I read some CSI stuff. I'm really like, this is a point in my life where it was like, I was about 13, 14. So I'm reading CSI and, enslaved
Got
stuff.
it.
So fan fiction is amazing. You get to explore these new stories, but also a lot of the times it can lead to an actual writing career. E.L. James, author of 50 Shades.
Noted literary icon E.L. James.
I know, but look how successful she is. Also, her initials are EJ, which if that stands for Edward and Jacob, I'm gonna fucking give myself a paper cut. Anyway, because it's a
in the web of her feet.
Like in Japanese. That was actually Twilight fanfic. Was 50 Shades, and then it got really popular. I mean, it's shit, but some fan fiction is actually genuinely good and can be used and rebound.
Sure. But like, is this the only example?
No, there are loads.
Okay,
no, that's just the most famous one.
Yeah, there's
I'm saying, but like of a more prolific, fanfic to mainstream success.
Yeah, there was a guy named Tetsuya Nomura. He wrote this thing called Kingdom Hearts. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, that was fanfic first? Okay. Interesting. I thought Kingdom Hearts was created in an elevator ride.
It was.
Mortal Instruments was fanfic. It was based on it was Draco and Ginny fanfic.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're already at number 3 and I've never heard of any. Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of Twilight fanfic.
Like turned into a movie, didn't it?
How is Twilight itself not a result of fan fiction?
Wait, Beautiful Bastard was Office fanfic?
What?
Wow. There we go.
Okay, it's interesting.
Another Twilight fanfic.
Just Twilight, the primordial soup of garbage.
Totally, just like a petri dish.
Another
for
Twilight.
fanfic.
Another Twilight. Oh no, wait, this one was not a Twilight fanfiction. Oh, this was a One Direction fanfiction. Okay.
Ooh,
anyway,
cool.
So there's a lot of them. A key aspect of fanfic is the concept of shipping, which is where two characters are written as if they are in a relationship with each other, and typically they get a fun name.
I know all about
Before
that.
we move on, I just want to point out, supernatural fanfic is so popular that if you Google AO3, as in Archive of Our Own, it will say, did you mean AO3 Supernatural?
Yeah.
That's how popular it is.
Massive show.
Okay.
Yeah.
So typically when they're shipped together, especially if it's like a same-sex ship, it'll be like Snape / Harry. So that'll be known as like a /fic because it's a gay fic. Or, you get the fun name of everyone mashed together. So like Snape and Harry is Snarry, Draco, Hermione, Hermione, Larry Stylinson, which actually... I could do a whole episode about Larry Stylinson, but that's two of the guys from One Direction, Harry and Louis.
Bacalar and Binball.
Binball.
Or Pacalar.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little note from Tam. Shipping, the term originates from the X-Files fandom. It's actually believed that shipping first, like, at least began, but wasn't called shipping, with Star Trek fandom. But the term originates, it was used to describe fan reactions to the unresolved sexual tension, aka the UST, between Mulder and Scully. Ship is obviously a shortened version of relationship.
The first, like the ultimate UST. Right?
Dude, I'm actively watching X-Files, and I had a moment yesterday where I was like, just kiss. Please, just kiss.
Funny. I honestly have like memory that is falsified in my brain of
them being together.
That's how.
Have you seen Gillian Anderson in season 3? In any of those?
Yes.
She looks unbelievable.
Buddy,
I'm like,
yes.
Sometimes she comes on screen. Yeah, she's insanely hot now. But like back then, I was like,
I'm talking about Sex Education. I'm talking about that show where she
even
is
X-Files, like,
beautiful,
amazing. I'm like, wow.
It's
and David
mind-blowing.
Duchovny as well. They are a great looking couple.
He's a hunk for sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Very, very hot. Anyway, the show wasn't putting Mulder and Scully into a relationship, so fans on the internet did it. And so there's obviously fan fiction, I think it's a .net, but archive of our own. It's like, it's massive. So, here are like the kind of main fandoms. If we go to TV shows, like
Two Broke Girls.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, these are all just like, and housed within these are sometimes thousands of.
Who was doing SNL fanfic is what I want to really unpack. And
who is doing the Tick fanfic is what I want to know.
That's an easier pill to swallow for sure.
What have we done here?
I'm trying to Control F.
Trying to save AO3.
Yeah.
There's Friday Night Lights at 6:50.
Damn.
Light. Saturday Night Live. That's real person fanfic. That's
What's that mean?
That's when they use like Pete Davidson and Colin whatever his name is.
Okay.
And then these are fanfics based on the characters in skits. Anyway,
got it. So someone's doing like drunk uncle fanfic and
there
shipping.
Is School of Rock fanfic. Wait, from the TV show?
Scrubs.
The Scrubs fanfic. Screenplay. I mean,
I believe it. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Get nasty.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, which brings us to Misha Collins and Supernatural. So the reason that this is all kind of intertwined, it's like a very messy kind of thing, is because Supernatural had a very, very big and intense fandom from the very beginning. Something about, everyone on that show is very hot. It's a CW show, of course they are. But also it was a very online show in that the writers clearly like checked in on places like Tumblr and forums, and then they would throw in little nods, and like they knew how big and voracious the fandom was, and so they would put little like jokes in or references into the actual episodes themselves to kind of make it be known that they were definitely listening. So I'll just watch this little clip. But there's a whole episode where they stumble across this school, and the school is putting on a play of their lives, and then there's also one where they discover what fan fiction is.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, this music. Oh, this music is so bad.
How's this guy know all this stuff?
You got me.
Everything is in here. I mean, everything. From the racist truck to me having sex. I'm full frontal in here, dude. How come we haven't heard of him before?
They're pretty obscure. Almost zero circulation. Started in 2005. Publisher put out a couple dozen before going bankrupt.
This is a good episode.
The last one, No Rest for the Wicked, ends with you going to hell.
I reiterate, freaking insane. Oh, check it out. There's actually fans. There's not many of them, but still. Did you read this?
Yep.
Although for fans, they sure do complain a lot. Some of the simpatico says the demon storyline is trite, cliched, and overall craptastic. Yeah, well, screw you, simpatico. We lived it.
Yeah, we'll keep on reading. Gets better.
Oh my God, this acting.
There's Sam girls and Dean girls, and what's a Slash fan?
As in Sam/Dean. Together.
Ah.
Like, together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do know we're brothers, right?
It doesn't seem to matter.
Oh, come on. That's just sick. We gotta find this Carver Edlund.
Yeah, that might not be so easy.
Why not?
Anyway, so
That is like straight up fucking whatever Kevin Smith movie is where they like want to find trolls on the internet and beat them up in real life.
So, I mean, part of the reason why it's speculated is obviously to bring you closer to fans, but if you look, so the Supernatural conventions, like Supernatural has done conventions for years. My friend actually did go to one of these. The reason it's important to have such a strong connection to your fans is because you can charge.
Yeah, you can sell merch, baby.
Where is it? $1,000.
Holy shit.
Front row seating is $17.50. It's
A bargain.
Brings in
To be close to Sam and Dean.
Brings
You
in
might
money.
get spit on by accident.
Oh god, I hope so.
Yeah, like 500. Like access to the vendors room where you can check all kinds of cool
Where you can
Supernatural
buy
types of
shit?
merchandise. Yeah, so it's like
What?
Yeah.
it brings in huge money, and so obviously it's important to have a relationship with your fans and kind of
Sure.
it's this kind of two-way street. Anyway, Misha's character Destiel is part of the most popular slash fic of all time, Destiel, which is Dean, played by Jensen Ackles, the guy who was the blonde guy that you just saw.
Reading the book.
Reading the book, and Destiel.
Okay.
So, like Tam mentioned, Destiel appeared in season 4 of Supernatural, saved Dean from hell, and went down so well with fans and critics that Destiel was brought on as a season regular from season 5 onwards. I personally didn't really dig Supernatural. Sorry, Tam. But the show
For real,
was...
Tam? That was your show?
Dude, the first 4 seasons are genuinely great. Like, they have a lot of fun. It goes a bit wild after, like, the Castiel era is like, once he shows up and becomes a regular, it goes off a bit of a cliff. But the first 5 seasons-ish are genuinely some of the most entertaining TV we'll watch. They've got a Groundhog Day episode. They've got an episode where, like, a trickster puts him in Japanese game shows and they get kicked in the balls constantly. It's, like, very, very fun.
That was
It's
when
really good.
that was when Kripke was writing it, right?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
guy who wrote the series to begin with, he was so good, like DC hired him to write Suicide Squad for a while, and like a lot of the modern era of Suicide Squad, especially James Gunn stuff, pulls from his stuff. Once
Got it.
Kripke left, it became a bit shit
Okay.
for me, but like there are obviously many people that love it.
Yeah. So Supernatural ran for 15 seasons.
No way.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah,
it
that's way.
ended in 2020.
Jesus. Okay.
And it was incredibly popular. It's two good-looking brothers, good-looking
get it.
angels and demons and what have yous join
I
them
just
to fight
conflate
evil.
I conflate all that shit, like Vampire Diary stuff. Like it seems like it's all spit out of that same factory in a way.
This has got like actual good world building.
Okay.
But Dean and Castiel's relationship was what really caught the eye of the audience and the fandom, because folks thought there was, what is it called again? The unresolved sexual, the UST was off the charts.
UST. Yeah.
People were like, oh, they're really close. There's different like undertones of attraction. And Destiel, as the show went on, just kept getting more and more popular. So many slash fics were written about them. It was the first ever fic to hit 100,000 fan works. So like 100,000 stories on one website alone. That's just on Archive of Our Own. And it's it's so popular. It has been the top ship on Archive. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
Don't cry. It's
Same.
okay. Yeah, you guys.
No, it's been...
I cry by association, so please.
It's been the top fic, the top ship, on Archive of Our Own since 2015.
Damn.
But it's not all been smooth sailing.
No,
Never is.
it really is on a ship.
I should mention the ship war.
There it is.
Wait.
So-
So these are two competing ship stories.
Oh yeah.
Not stories. It's like the people who... So the first 4
Yeah.
seasons of the show were obviously Dean and Sam, right? Like they were the brothers, the Winchester
Obviously,
brothers.
yes.
So
Got it.
their pairing was known as Wincest.
Because they're brothers.
Yeah.
Or
What is that? Okay.
people would ship them in real life. The two actors, Jensen
Actors.
Ackles and Jared Padalecki, which is called J2. Anyway, when Destiel started to pick up steam, the shippers all kind of started fighting because you had like the people who've been there from the beginning, like the old guard, they were like, no, the original ship, the proper ship, the OTP, the one true pairing, should be Sam and Dean. And then, you know, the new folks coming in with Destiel, they said they were treated like a rare ship, which is, you know, a ship featuring like one-off I know how this sounds. Featuring like one-off characters, rather than, you know, it should be a ship that everyone has seen, because like Castiel is a main series regular now. And there was all this shit slinging and bullying.
A lot of ship-to-ship combat. Kind of like Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Exactly, cannonballs and all. How the fuck does this manifest? Like, what are we talking about when we're talking about ship conflict? Like, what are these little freaks doing?
I know you haven't read my thing. I just love when you line up a segue for me.
That's what I'm here for.
So it's basically just like there's online bullying. So, I mean, and just like immense amounts of hate pointed towards the actor. So here's an archive thing where it's like, who can't act? Why Jared is ruining Supernatural? Can we talk about how much Sam is ruining this show? That whole ending in the last episode was horrible. And Jared only made it worse with his mediocre acting. So there was a ton of this. There was like a ton of tweets. There was
the 2 minutes I saw did not exactly inspire me with a lot of acting confidence in that show, but sure.
You shut your mouth.
I'm sorry.
Resulting in, and so there was a lot of hate in particular directed towards Misha Collins, which resulted in I Hate Misha Collins Day, where a group of so this is the thing. This is not even because of something this man has done in real life. This is because of a perceived relationship that a character that he plays is a part of.
In their heads. That isn't on screen yet.
Totally, which is troubling in many, many ways, right? Mm-hmm. So I realize you know, to make this argument, you've backed it up with the sort of like show's acknowledgement of this subculture, right? And you kind of like made the case, but ultimately, like, how impactful is it all, right? Like, right? I guess that's what I'm sort of wondering. Yeah.
So they did an I Hate Misha Collins Day where a group of anti-Destiel shippers would email the CW,
oh my God,
tweet like a tweet campaign to basically try and get him fired. But then, you know, there were the pro Destiel shippers who were tweeting things like #WeLoveMishaCollins. And Misha Collins at the time like joked about it and, you know, didn't seem to take it too seriously.
So he was aware of what was bubbling under the surface.
100% aware. So, like, they would go to conventions and people, there were videos of this on YouTube. They would go to conventions and, like, people would always ask them about Destiel. Like, got it. It's fucking huge.
So it's like, you know, the headline of the fandom are these like ship stories. So I'm led to believe like they were very much aware of it, talking about it, answering questions when interviewed about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So no, anyway, on April Fool's Day 2013, so this was all around, I think, 2012. In 2013, on April Fool's Day, there was an event called the Mishapocalypse on Tumblr, where one Tumblr user called Loki's Leather Suit suggested that everyone change their avatars to this picture of Misha Collins.
Love that.
So if you search for Mishapocalypse, you know, this was just like, if you logged on Tumblr, this would be what your dashboard looked like. I hate Misha Collins. What's supposed to be his face? It's not even his fault. It's all Tumblr's fault. Yeah, so there was just this was just Tumblr for that whole day.
My God.
And like Misha Collins
Never
at the time,
forget.
do it for him. Misha Collins at the time joked about it. He was like, you know, oh, I'm gonna get plastic surgery and I have to see this guy's face again.
Got it.
So all the while, the fandom is still in this kind of tumultuous sort of phase, and we should probably mention that there were accusations of queer baiting throughout, particularly with regards to Destiel. They felt like a lot of the fandom felt like the writers were kind of throwing in these things that, like, they believed that the characters were queer coded, and they would throw in just like little hints that they were possibly in a relationship together but never fully committed. So that was an argument that had been running for a long time. And then the show wraps up in 2020. And then we get a thing called Destielgate. Spoilers for the ending of Supernatural here, but unless you're going to watch all 15
By all
seasons.
means.
Season 15, episode 18, which I believe is the penultimate episode, Supernatural did this. All right, brace yourselves, boys.
That is who you are.
I have seen this, and let me tell you, I have not enjoyed this.
You're the most caring man on earth. You are the most selfless, loving human being
What's happening?
I will ever know.
Side
Oh my God,
note-
wait.
Side note,
Can you
Tam,
pause
are
it?
Are those sound effects in the whole episode the whole
I
time?
no.
Are
I
you
don't believe
sure?
So. Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
That's
maybe
weird.
this is just what they had to upload to get it
Upload
saved.
to get
Oh,
it. Yeah.
sure, because
Yeah.
that would be a crime.
That would be
sick,
ridiculous.
though.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I would be into that.
Tam loves it. We hate it.
Yeah, I love that.
Carry on.
We met ever since I pulled you out of hell. Knowing you has changed me. Because you cared, I cared. I cared about you. I cared about Sam. I cared about Jack. But I cared about the whole world because of you.
That is. Oh, could you imagine? By the way, like
You changed me, Dean.
how psychotic that would be.
Why does this sound like a goodbye?
That is awesome.
I love you.
So,
He'll do this, Cass.
oh right, Supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. Supernatural stuff starts happening.
Whoa, is that the Reaper?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Dean.
Nice. He just threw him down.
And
He
then,
goes through the portal.
Yeah. and
Wait,
then
okay, so
immediately Castiel
show
dies.
me. So unpack that a little bit because I'm not sure. So
Tam.
so that would.
Could you?
Oh, Tam's gonna because what did I see? Did I see the like acknowledgement of like
Yes.
the suspicion of the fan of the shipping?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So it was, but also in a way that is, I don't know, it's very, very open to interpretation. So like there is an arc that Castiel goes on where he begins like a bit like Terminator.
Was that his
Arnold
that wasn't his
Schwarzenegger.
brother, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
He begins a bit like the Terminator where he doesn't understand humanity and is very like, chill out, dickwad. That kind of, and
Okay.
needs John Connor to teach him how to understand humans. And then that's where, like, you know, that arc is Castiel kind of discovering a love for humanity and caring about people through working with these brothers. So the interpretation there is very open. You could be like him you could think, oh, he's telling Dean he loves him because he helped him understand the idea of love. And this was a ultimate like moment of expressing that in a very plain way, in the same way that I would tell you, Jeff Baccarat, I love you, as I was about to walk through a portal to the another hellscape, if you know what I
Sure.
mean.
Of
But also, if you are in the fandom and you've been desperately waiting for these two to shag, that might be like, oh, they're admitting it.
Yeah.
Right. So they were able to kind of like get away with both.
Yeah, they could like eat their cake,
Well,
you know. have
Until
their cake
Misha
and eat it.
Collins like tweeted or
Yes,
said Destiel is canon.
And that's when
Whoa.
it became canon, yeah.
Yeah.
He just straight up wow.
He just tweeted it out.
Huh.
So yeah.
Well,
so,
he could just do. He didn't write the show.
No.
I mean, like, does he take? Was there any fallout from him saying that? Because ultimately,
Yeah, yes, there was.
Oh, there was a lot of
from
fallout,
like
so-
the showrunners, from the showrunners.
Oh, no, I don't think from the showrunners, no.
Showrunners are like whatever.
Well, I mean, one of the showrunners got run off Twitter, I believe. But anyway, so all hell broke loose after this happened because renewed.
Can I see that tweet? I just want to see it.
Which one
Is
of
it-
him saying Destiel is canon?
Destiel is. Was it just those three words?
I don't know if it was a tweet. I think he just shouted it into the sky and then people heard it.
And then like
They were
enough
like,
people
oh,
were in
God.
earshot, and that was
Yeah.
it. Became legend.
Yeah, I think so.
Destiel is canon. Can that be
Yeah.
the name of this episode?
During a Zoom call.
On Zoom, he declared
It might have been
it.
a fan. It might have been a fan.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's probably one of those fan meetup style things.
Oh, it was the Darklight Online convention. Yeah, so Destiel is canon. Okay, so he did say it at a convention.
Mm-hmm.
Castiel makes his homosexual declaration of love. Amazing that happens and then dies, which plays into a timeless Hollywood trope of kill the gays. Then we give and then we take away. So this is part of the controversy here, is because obviously the renewed complaints of queer baiting, but then there is the kill the gays. Is that what he called it?
Yeah.
Bury your gays is the name of the trope, or burn your gays, which is basically where, you know, a queer character gets this like moment where they get to own their sexuality,
and then they chop
and then
their
they
heads off.
immediately suffer trauma or they die. And so in this case, Castiel announces, like, reveals his love for Dean, and then is immediately killed. Like, and so there were all these memes about like, oh yeah, announce that I'm gay and then get thrown into mega hell, or take the portal to the mega hell or something. And then there were arguments about like, well, they confirmed it this way, but they left it open to interpretation. And also, can it be considered canon because it wasn't reciprocated and Castiel died? Then there was, here we go. Congrats to Supernatural for 12 years of queerbaiting and then ending it the fastest bury your gays speedrun ever seen, as well as doing it in the most homophobic way possible. So the fans fucking hated it.
So like that was the universal takeaway.
It was.
From
I
the
mean,
fans.
the finale was not actually well received either. Just in general.
Got it.
Am I right, Tom?
Yeah. I mean, like, some people loved it. Well, it depends on what side of the shipping you are. Like, the people who were into the ship were like, great.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, there's a significant portion of people that were like, that was done very badly. Yeah. But as far as I know, the general sentiment is like, not great.
Yeah. So in terms of the reciprocation stuff, that was unless you watched the Latin American Spanish dub.
Okay.
Where instead of saying "don't do this" or whatever it was that Dean said, the translation was "and you, Cas," which there was a whole conspiracy, which is what Destielgate is, where people believed that was translated based on an earlier episode or like an earlier cut.
Wow.
And that it was changed to not make Destiel canon, which then Misha Collins had to come out. I don't think he had to come out and say it, but he ended up doing this. I'm seeing a lot of commentary on the ending of Supernatural and the recent Spanish dub, and I'm disheartened to see that there are a lot of misconceptions that are making many in our family feel unheard and unsupported. So I'm calling a Supernatural family meeting to sort a few things out. Basically, he was like, there's no conspiracy within the network. Dean was always too stunned in the moment to reply. Apparently, a rogue translator penned their own dialogue.
Oh, you hate to see it. A rogue translator.
Yeah. And then also, in my opinion, Cass doesn't play into the bury your gays trope, even though he said that at another convention. His declaration of love saves Dean, enabling Sam and Dean to save all of humanity. Cass doesn't die. He actually goes on to rebuild heaven. And then this is, you know, I'm sorry if I spoke defensively. Like, people just were not wanting to hear this, basically.
Yeah.
We don't really have a lot of time to watch the whole video, but it's there. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is because of the power that fandom has. So it was did you know the actual time that this was happening, Jeff? I mentioned it was November 2020, but do you know when specifically?
November 2020. Uh-oh.
It was on fucking results day, okay?
Oh my
God. For
God.
the presidential election. And this was also at the time when rumors were circulating that Vladimir Putin had resigned.
Oh, I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah, so that was all while we were waiting for the election results for Georgia to come in. And Supernatural had such a strong following and such a huge outcry that it was overtaking, like, the fucking presidential election at times. And, like, that's what I'm saying.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah, on Twitter. Like, just the power of fandom, I guess, is just ridiculous. And so
every now and then, like, there'll be a day where I get in my trends get invaded by something that I'm just like, well, this is a thing not for me. I don't know what this is. Yeah,
exactly. And so Misha Collins, they kind of settled down for a while. Misha Collins I still see occasionally trending on my sidebar, but like, he trended, and the reason that you saw it is because, and the reason it became such a big deal that you saw it, and even you knew what was going on, is that at a convention recently, he said something like, who's introverted, who's something else, and who's bisexual. And then he said people in the crowd were cheering. And then he said, well, I'm all three. So that was taken to be him coming out as bisexual. And people were like, oh my God, you know, this is great. And, you know, this kind of, it was celebrated. And then he had to come out and say that he didn't actually mean it and that he was straight. And so the issues of queer baiting again came up, but it's like, it's not just an easy subject to talk about because you have those 12 years of issues that have formed and bubbled up throughout the community from relationships that the actors and the show has had with its fans, the relationship that the fan has with the show. It's such a complicated topic. And like, I guess what my message here is, and I was Tam has helpfully actually figured out this this kind of conclusion for me, is because I just wanted to kind of recap the events and as to why he was trending and like why he is so famous, even though like there are some celebrities that I consider too famous to not have social media. Like you don't see Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie. Of course, that's where my mind went. But like, you know, here's what we're doing in Palm Springs, like that kind of thing. They don't have to be online because they transcend
Rihanna.
fame.
They're probably the last of their kind.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that everyone now, you have to have some element of social media to become famous. And he would have been, I think
that's very interesting.
Yeah, without the fandom of Supernatural, Misha Collins would not have been as famous as he is. But ultimately, that is such a double-edged sword because, I mean, even before all of this stuff with Destiel as canon and all the issues of queerbaiting, it's like he was attacked just for doing his job for something that was perceived by fans, right? And so, like many good things, I'll read what Tam wrote, and I want to give Tam credit for this because he's just amazing at putting what my rogue thoughts into words. But like many good things on the internet can be corrupted very quickly, especially when it comes to having a passionate love for something. And there are healthy and unhealthy ways to engage in your passions. Shipping is often intersected with stan culture. And so, Jeff, do you know what stan means? Like stans?
Yeah, I know what a stan is. It's just like an undying, you know.
Do you know where it comes from?
I always thought stan. I don't know why I think this. Maybe it's wrong. I always thought it came from that Eminem song.
It does.
Does.
Fuck yeah! Hey, this is a little bit more online right now. Just a little bit more. Yeah, score points.
Hell yeah! I mean, what does that bring you up to now? I think like 2.5.
Yeah, he's got 2.5 points.
I'll take them.
Hell yeah!
I mean, the over under was 1, so I'm in positive territory.
So stans can be wonderful. Fans can be wonderful. Fandom can be amazing. We've experienced it ourselves. Like our love for Lost, Nine Inch Nails, Naruto, Prince of Tennis, keycaps, hobbies. Brings us closer to the people that love. Did you say QAnon?
Wow, are you into that?
It's just a joke. Come on, it's funny, dude.
Well, you're about to.
Yeah, you were just riffing off like you're at keycaps, 9 Inch Nails, QAnon. Like that's funny to me. That's funny to me.
I'm in a subreddit called QAnon Casualties, by the way, which is the
hell yeah.
No, it's the most depressing subreddit.
No, I know, but I follow a lot of Twitter accounts of just
I'm an active listener of QAnon Anonymous. Which
yes,
is one of my
exactly.
favorite podcasts.
Like that shit's very funny. There's a lot of good Twitter accounts that. Yeah, it's just it's just rubbernecking.
QAnon self-owns. Oh, good.
But anyway, can bring us closer to people who love the same things. And take BTS, the ARMY, South Korean boy band, has some of the most loyal, dedicated, and just stands in the world. Like there are millions of them probably at this point. And like they, what were they doing recently? They were they tweeting against Trump or something? Like they all kind of formed up. I can't remember who it was, but they were tweeting against some injustice, and they immediately overtook trends. And like they're a movement essentially, and they're incredible.
They are like I said, wrote here, like they are the one force that was able to kind of serve as a genuine countermeasure to QAnon. Yeah, and that was happening. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
And so, there's a great article, by Bloomberg, published an article called "No One Fights QAnon Like the Global Army of K-Pop Superfan," like a global army of K-pop superfans. So that's by Olivia Carville. Oh yeah, they more than 22,000 tweets.
This is a lot of them.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of tweets, and they they just drowned out all these QAnon tweets. And so they're incredible.
It's awesome.
So yeah, you've got Mishapocalypse and stan culture as evidence of one thing. It's something like that we already know from being very online. Like tribalism is this core part of being on the internet. Like you define yourself by what you like. It's an easy way for you to quickly understand what the other person is about.
Sure.
And in real life, everyone is a fan of something, right? Like everything is always an us versus them. Everything needs to be a team sport. PlayStation versus Xbox. Pineapple on pizza versus no pineapple on pizza. Simpsons versus Futurama. The left v right. Pokemon versus Digimon. Although I don't know how many people are on the Digimon side, but whatever.
There's a lot. One Jordan Ramey will tell you otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. But it's really important that this is happening on almost an unconscious or subconscious level. It's a lobster in a pot situation. That's how we get people from being really excited about a new character on a TV show and the potential relationship dynamics they can have with others to online struggles in favor and against their entire existence and these relationships. So the important decision you need to make is, are you going to be positive part of shipping and stan culture, or are you going to be a damaging and negative one?
The short answer is, I would argue that the majority of this sort of culture is not good. I just think like when you completely make life a binary sort of like with us or against us thing, there's it doesn't always leave room for civil discourse, right?
No, I think the internet has we have now grown as a species to not be able to.
I mean, I learned.
Civil discourse.
I formed that opinion with the help of last episode, right? Like, you know what I mean. So this, I learned it by watching you. Okay.
Yeah, it's like what Lucy said earlier. Like, it's these communities are like these stan and shipping thing kind of efforts are a very easy way to walk into the internet and be like, I really immediately join a community,
right?
And it is very, very like, and then if you defend that community and start absorbing their perspectives and fighting for them, you've got, like, comrades and compatriots in arms to do that, and you feel like a bigger group immediately. And that is the feeling that comes from belonging often overpowers the common sense that you are engaging in a fight over something meaningless in the broader scheme of things. So like, just remember not to define your entire existence by a fandom of something. Don't make your life about it, every part of it. Don't just live everything, every moment of your life for a specific fandom of something. Okay?
Exactly.
Get a grip.
Get a grip. Yeah, the onboarding is so easy. Yeah. That's the thing, Yeah. But yeah.
And I guess kind of like my final point is, where is the fourth wall? Like the wall that protects the fandom and the creatives from each other? Does it need to be thicker? I mean, I guess like Game of Thrones.
BioWare would like to know.
BioWare would like to know. Game of Thrones would like to know. I guess that's the point of this whole episode.
It is also self-created by those entities, right? Like
in this case, yeah.
Yes, but also like regardless, like your BioWare example, right? Like that engagement is better than no engagement. Yeah. Right. So it's the wall needs to be like permeable in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so like I guess my final point is that I love fan culture. I think it's really great when people, especially like when people do cosplay and really creative things and just really celebrate the things that they love. But it's not always, unless you look for it, it's not always bubbling at the top of everyone's kind of vision on the internet. And so I guess it's just like the internet is such a huge, huge place. And there are all of these really cool, interesting social dynamics happening that you might not necessarily understand. And so for you, Jeff, like your exposure to this is the fact that you saw this guy trending for some reason. Whereas for others, it is a culmination of 12 plus years of issues, online and offline bullying, being part of a fandom. It's like, it's just wild. Like, and that's, part of the reasons why I love the internet.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Everyone just join the anime fandom. It's absolutely fine there. There's nothing nothing weird going on at all.
This is an advertisement for that.
Anyway.
Thank you for watching another episode of the Very Online Show and learning hopefully a little bit more about fandom. Join a fandom. Just be chill about it though. Don't threaten
be normal,
people, Be like Jeff Bakula. Jeff Bacala, what fandom are you going to enjoy this weekend?
The beer drinking fandom, the IPA fandom.
Absolutely haram. I don't want to hear about that.
Sorry, it is haram. Sorry.
But yeah, where are you
Constantly walking into that fucking.
I've only got a few more of these Ramadan-based jokes left.
That's it, man. Get them out while you can.
It's over on Monday.
I'm at Jeff Bacala everywhere, all at once.
Thank you. I just like to imply. I accidentally imply there that after Ramadan, beer drinking is fine for me. It's not.
I was gonna say.
Not. No, I know. I know. It's not. It's still
alcohol has never passed these lips, and they never shall. Lucy?
I'll be
Has
enjoying...
alcohol passed your lips?
Yeah, I had a couple of White Claws last night, baby.
Absolutely, hold on.
Absolutely. I'm going to be partaking in the Elden Ring fandom.
Ooh. Yeah. Hello, can anyone hear me? That's my impression of Alexander Ironfist.
That was very good.
That's good.
What about you, Tam?
I'm constantly partaking in many fandoms. I am going to be partaking in the Elden Ring fandom as well this weekend, I hope. I'm currently partaking in the Zach Gage fandom.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Zach
Gage has released a new game called Word Knot, and it is fantastic.
It's good.
It's brilliant. I highly recommend everyone get into that fandom. It's just words. Surely that can't be corrupted.
Totally.
Fine. And yeah, I'm at More Hatred everywhere. You can find me. And we'll see you for another episode of the Very Online Show.
Woo!